welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Sometimes they're conversations, depends on if anyone in the chat chimes in or mom. Hi, look who came back. Did anybody see that? Did you see him? This guy was gone. He left yesterday when I let him out when the sun was coming up. And he didn't come back until like noon today, and I thought he was a goner. I know it's not. I just whatever, I pray he comes back. The thing of it is where I live, there's a lot of things that like to eat cats, and there's a lot of people that like to shoot cats and cause harm to them. So I'm just, man, my nerves are just shot, you know it? My nerves are shot, and I don't take pills, I don't drink, I don't take medication, I don't freaking, cannabis is the only medicine I do, and I haven't even been partaking that in the last few days because I'm so spun up that it has a counter effect. So there's times to do things and there's times to not, and you got to really be self-aware to know when those times are. And it took me a lot of years to figure out, what can help me and what's to my detriment. And I used to medicate with alcohol for a number of years, and for people like me, to drink is to die. And sometimes I don't want to live anymore. I don't necessarily want to die. I've never in my life been suicidal, and there was a point in time a couple years back, the VA put me on some antidepressants, and I just started getting these thoughts, about not wanting to live anymore. And I did upon some research, because I know that's not my natural state, and my natural state had been altered. My natural ecosystem had been altered from the prescriptions, because it's all about selling units. And if we suicide ourselves, then you don't have to pay our piddly little pensions anymore. So I guess, it's also gross. Anyway, so I tapered I upon some research, I found out that there are studies done, and these antidepressants, venlafaxine or something like that. I have to look because they put me on sleeping pills at the same time, and I got them mixed up. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I've done talks about it before with the actual name and stuff like that, and probably showed the pill bottle and everything like that. And when I found out that there was a 32% suicide rate related to that particular specific antidepressant, and my thoughts started becoming more to the more from shadow, the dark side. I tapered myself off. They were caplets, so it made it easier. So I just would open them up, pour some out, take that dose for a couple weeks, and then I'd open them up, pour more out, take that dose for a couple weeks, and do it down to the fourth increment. I did it over a 4-week period, and sometimes those thoughts stick with you. That's why I was gonna call this talk today. I have a folder, title ideas, because I'll think about titles in the morning, and by the time I go to do a talk, I forget. So I'm gonna call this one today, "The Kinds of Seeds We Grow." What are we planting? What foot seeds, foot prayers? What are we doing today that's gonna make us better, make life a little bit better for everybody around us in the future? So I've been trying to plant things, doing things now. I've made a couple of doctor's appointments. See, and that's the thing is it's hard to stay positive. Whenever I go into a situation, I don't just think, okay, this is going to go crappy and how's it not going to go. I understand how energy and frequency works way better than that. It's an open slate. Hope for the best, Think positive, all that, yeah. It's I used to be like that so much more when I was growing up. so much more. It wasn't until my freaking, we'll just say 8 anthrax vaccine shots made me skeptical about a lot of things, and it opened my body and my knowing up and my awareness up to a lot of things, and because it put me into a different frequency. I've always been a different frequency. Always, my whole life. I was born to a different frequency, a different tune than everybody else. Everybody has their own frequency, and some people are just a little higher and broader, that's all. And some people's are just, their broadband is just pure. They're narrow, and the only thing that they can focus on is, like, you know, being obedient, or making people proud, or I don't know. It ain't about truth and justice. Things are changing, though. So I was thinking about the kind of future I want to hold, and how I want to maintain myself from then to now. And because, see, I got trouble with anger. I get so mad about stuff, and it's so hard for me to. It's not hard. It's taxing. It takes a lot of energy to keep from getting mad. And now I'm getting to an age that I got to worry about. See, I always had really low blood pressure, and people would have to, like, redo my blood pressure and do it like 3 or 4 times. I mean, it's been weird. They do it, be like, no, that can't be right, do it again. And I tell them, well, that's just because I've lived such an easy life. I laugh. You know, and but last time I had it done, it was high. Stress is a killer. That's why they like to keep people in a fearful, stressful state, because it freaking causes so much dis-ease. I'm just glad I'm not eating. I'm not eating my. I used to eat my. When I get stressed, I'd eat for comfort. I'd eat my feelings, and I don't do that no more. Now I lift dumbbells. I've been lifting dumbbells, and I haven't had much of an appetite, and I'm not real. I am eating. I just am not eating much, and that's all right. Because I could skip several meals just with because I carry my stress in my gut and my ass. I got a big old ass, badonka-donk is what they used to. I got a big old butt. So I could stand to skip a few meals, but it's starting to get warm, and I don't have much of an appetite when I eat. So I basically it's like sandwiches. I did better, though. I didn't buy bologna today. I have my little vices. I've got turkey instead. And there's a lot of empty shelves at the store where I live in Taos, New Mexico. Yeah. So I'm wound pretty tight. My frequency's pretty broad. I have a lot of life experiences. I'm a human toning fork. I can sit and be within the presence of someone for a very short time and pretty get the summary of who they are and the spectrum in which they have. So I did listen to a good talk. The guy kind of lost me for a little while. When people, it's just me. It's me. It's always me in my perception. I've known guys like this, like him, you know, and I just have a different experience with guys like him. That's all. The interview was cool, and see, because people don't listen to my stuff about frequency and vibration and all that stuff. Because I don't know if it's the lights, I don't know if it's my face, I don't know if I'm too ugly for them, I don't know if they just don't hear the words I say, tune me out, we're not on the same planet, I don't know what the case is, it's really none of my business. I just speak my truth. I've done it for 5 years. 6 years? A while. 5. And I still have a big. I don't have a community. I mean, let me take that. I do have a community. It's just small. And so anyway, Brock Goldsmith today did a talk. It was funny because you could tell she's used to only talking for an hour. And she was like, okay, let's wrap it up. I don't want to take any more of your time. She was like, okay, I'm done. That's kind of what I got a little bit. And he was like, nah, let's just keep going. Let's just keep talking all. That's just the kind of personality. People like us, sometimes we like the sound of our own voices. I recognize in him what I see in myself. See, it's called accountability. More people should try it. He won't. I still act like an ass, but I acknowledge it more. So it was a Thrive interview with Foster Gamble on what's next, and it's no different than what I'm talking about. We're at a fork in the road right now. We're at a freaking crossroads. You know, which way are people gonna go? Are they gonna live more for their spirit, or are they gonna live for their ego? Or just basically, are you gonna live with a collective consciousness mentality, or are you gonna live for, I gotta buy that freaking piece of crap electric car, I gotta freaking have the mansion, I gotta freaking, you know, date the chick that's freaking, or dude that's freaking 25, 30, 40 years younger than you, because they remind you of somebody in your youth and you're just grasping on that? Because it doesn't really have much to do with commonality, because people like that, they don't got a whole lot in common, really. Unless somebody wants to be taking, that's the seedy side of life. Anyway, back to the interview with Foster Gamble and what's next. It was a good talk. I just go listen to it. But I've been, okay. And then it was funny because yesterday she had another guy on. Where is it? I don't know what she did with it. She just had another guy on, like yesterday or the day before, and I didn't write his name down, and now it's not there. Sort by recently uploaded. Oh wait, is that it? Nope. Anyway, Foster Gamble mentioned the man's name today because he said something yesterday, and it freaking. Sometimes you hear stuff and then it just strikes you. It just strikes you. And it struck me. It struck me, and this is why I think there is such a huge path of which way are people going to go. And it's based on what this guy said yesterday. He said, nature will punish you for not living in accordance to reality. See, and I know my reality. I know my reality. I'm congruent. You know, and throughout the years, I've checked in with professionals, and I've told them exactly where I'm at. And I don't leave anything out. And mostly, these professionals have been impressed that I am as well adjusted as I am. And I recognize and utilize and maintain a spiritual conditioning because I know I get really pissed off. I get really angry. And it seems like the older I get, I gotta breathe through stuff more. I when I was in Arizona that 5 weeks, I'd do that all the time, and I'm stretching out my hands and joints and stuff like that, and it's just tension in there that builds up. I got to keep it loose and out. And the woman that allowed Mom and I to come stay with her said, "Your PTSD is too weird. You have too much PTSD. You're too weird with your breathing and stuff like that." And what people don't understand is I breathe like that and do this stuff because if I didn't, I would probably like put people, because I imagine stuff like in a cartoon way, in a Who Framed Roger Rabbit way. That's a better description. On freaking, you know, like if I, you know, if I wasn't constrained by not having a place to live with my mother, 4 dogs, and cat right now, this would be a different conversation. But I gotta take how shitty you're talking to me, and I've had to do stuff like that my whole entire life. And what happened is I decided I would just cut people away. Okay, you don't want to know me anyway, because that's how you treat people that you don't want to know. So I'm going to do you a solid, and you just won't get to know me no more. That's cool. That's all right. A lot of people don't want to know me. It frees me up for the people that do. So this, there's a lot of people that are going to have a really freaking rude awakening. You know, I've had a long, painful, drawn out, trudgy, murky, with a lot of beautiful, sweet, tender, joyful, loving instances in mine. I'm just ready for things to get a little bit more chill, because I'm getting tired, and my body, I'm starting to feel the effects of just getting mad. So I've really been working on not getting mad, and it's hard. It's hard the way, because it's people say you have control. You know, you just have to just keep your mouth closed, and they don't understand people like me and the stuff that I've had to keep my mouth closed through. And so to ask me to is rude. And I will not ever not stick up for myself or somebody else around me. And you know what? People don't want you to stick up for them. They really don't. They want to be freaking treated like crap. I guess it's I don't know, maybe that's how that was done in their world, and how people were taught affection. You know, I just assume not hang out with people that are mean to me. And sometimes people are mean to me and I don't even know it. I'm one of those people that say, oh, I'm smart in a lot of ways, and I can feel the heart space of a lot of people, but there's a lot of people that don't have a heart space I recognize, and sometimes I'm slow. But then I'm like, oh, I get it, you're making fun of me. I understand. You're making fun of me, I get it. I'll say something. Alright. And then I'll just be done. Or, you know, sometimes I'll just look at them and when I realize it, and I'll just turn and walk away. So, I was thinking about it. I was watching Defender of Ants. He's on his, I'm trying to send him high vibes, because he's on his trek to Chicago. He didn't get my Balky reference. There was a show that used to be on in the 90s. Balky Bartakamus, and he had a sign he that said Chicago or burst. He always like had funny talking, because he was from some country where the village he came from a cart with sheep and stuff like that, and so I bet there's a lot of freaking symbolism in those shows. Anyway, he's hitchhiking, and he made it to, I looked it up on the map. It's not too far from the Idaho border. So he's hitchhiking to Chicago. And I don't know. I try to just, these days I'm trying to accentuate on find just like find the commonality in things, you know? And he's a real positive guy, and I think I learned something from everybody, and I can learn stuff from him, you know? I just am a little older, and if I've had different life experiences. Like he said he salutes police now. And as you can tell, I think that's laughable. Because the majority, more than 50.1% have become resource hogs, and they get all the cars and all the guns and the laptops and all the best shit, and they don't take care of the shit. They fucking beat it to hell, and it's theirs, and you know, It's just more misappropriation of funds, and people on the cracks of society are getting wider. And when I talked to the recruiter in the Air Force, see, I was like 25 when I went into the military. I was old, and I wasn't like some 18-year-old dumb kid who's just gonna break me down, build me back up again. No, I think my lowest point in life when I was raped as a 10-month-old baby, and I've been building myself up ever since. And so I was talking to the recruiter anyway, and I was sharing with them, I said, you don't got to feed me the crap. And it's interesting because I see, like, news stories, I was a 19-year-old girl. It looked like it'd be fun to join the military. She joined the military, and she's like, oh, my God, what have I done? I'm just like, oh, my God. I did it to go to college because I knew I wanted to get my brother. That was my indoctrination from him is you got to go to college, be a decent person, show people that you can follow through with stuff, blah, 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 blah. So I didn't want freaking student loans to be paying off the rest of my life, so I just opted to give them 6 years, and then I'd go to school, and it worked out perfect. The last day of my degree, the signature series was November 19th, 2006, and the last day of my enlistment was November 28th, Mom's 56th birthday, on 2006. So that was kind of cool. My whole life has been seconds and inches and miracles, really. Angels, divine, just freaking, whew, seconds and inches. Dodge that one, dodge that bullet. But it's always hard. There's always obstacles and stuff. Hard ones, like hard. Like I lost 32 pounds in less than 3 months to go in. I was about starving myself. I mean, I was dedicated. I've had to sacrifice a lot to achieve my goals, and college wasn't even. I'm freaking Aspergers or autistic. Autistic is what they said back in 1986, 85. But back then, nobody cared. They just put me in the remedial class. I was in the remedial class. And everything was stupid. Why am I in here? I would have rather been in shop class or Autobot, but girls weren't allowed. Back then, it wasn't. Anyway. So, based on all this life experience that I've gained, it was kind of funny. Nate sent me a link from Nate disambiguous to 1442 to the second. Sent me a link, and I got to sit in, and the guy was talking about, he's like, if I was born, and had your life experiences, I would be you right now. And I was just like, dude, you don't want that. I guarantee that people, like, if I've thought about that, if I've, like, because you see, like, memes and shit like that on Facebook and whatever, Twitter, wherever, Instacrap, pick your poison, and, of, like, okay, here's my psyche, hold on to that for 5 minutes and go through that Rolodex of memory, and knowing and understanding, take whatever you want, leave the rest. And it's kind of a trip, is that's kind of the way that the way the path is going as far as the which way people want to go. And this guy that I listened to today, Foster, he was talking about AI, and AI has been prominent in my mind since Terminator 2, and then I went to college for information systems technology, and when I sat down to think about the focus in which I wanted to take, I've always been support in everything I do, so I went that route. It's more hands-on, technical. It's more variety. Mama Jack, all tirades. So, but AI and robotics, I didn't want to go that route either way, because I couldn't stand the freaking people that are in the industry. They just me. Anyway, their programming, their psyche, their mentality Uh, that's kind of what I do as at my Heyoka-ness. If you don't know what Heyoka is, check it out. Look it up. But, I'm all things IT. And everything's information. And even we are technology. And I'm pretty proficient in our systems too. As much as I am in mechanical systems, as my job was age in the Air Force. I was flight line support. We worked on a lot of different stuff, a lot of different systems. I know a lot. I'm pretty handy, you know. I'm pretty handy, and I used to watch a lot of funny movies and TV shows, and can still reference stuff that people have no recollection of. They have no idea. So except maybe some of my boomer friends, my boomer buddies, the good boomers, not the lame dumbass ones. Anyway, today's been a pretty okay day. I felt better after 11:30 once Tango came home. I'm just, you know, it's been a rough 6 years. And prior to that, it wasn't like real super hunky-dory. But every step I've taken, every mile we've traveled, it's all gotten us to be here. And I just got to keep focusing on... I know Mom was born around here, so I get to honor our time in the same place that she began. And that is a very special thing to do, and it's go back and watch the videos. It's also beautifully synchronistic. Our life is beautifully, poignantly synchronistic. And granted, sometimes I lack in faith. The majority of the time, I have no deficit. It's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Peace.